Take it, my man, Chris.
Alright. You guys probably saw the Microsoft press briefing where we did a real quick demo. What I'm going to do now is just go into a little bit more detail, kind of walk through what the gestures are, what the controls are, and then towards the end, if you have any questions, you can answer those too. So first off, if I just want to kind of check a weapon out, I can bring up my left hand, move it around, rotate it really easily. We're doing a little bit of a virtual environment too, where if I kind of take a step to the side, or I lean my head to the side, we're cracking the head, and your perspective in the virtual world changes the perspective in your looking at wherever you are. So for the actual selection, it's kind of a sci-fi inspired interface. You can see movies like Minority Report and Iron Man, that sort of thing. So I just bring my right hand up, and I just motion in the direction I want to go. And it's really easy to just cycle through all my options. If I want to just kind of keep cycling, I can just leave my hand there until I get to what I want. Reach up and select it. Back out like that. Very easy to do. So, weapon customization is a feature that we've had in past plans and games. It's been a lot of shooters. We really like it, it's really fun, and that's why so many games do it. But we wanted to take it to a whole new level. You know, a lot of times in some of our past games, some other games, you can maybe change out the optics on the weapon, maybe put a silencer on, maybe change out the other barrel. We wanted to do all that and even a lot more with side rail attachment, changing out stock, ammo type, magazines, and then the big thing we're also doing is allowing players to customize the inner parts of the weapon. So I just make an overhand gesture like that, the whole weapon comes apart, and I can see the gas system, I can see the barrel, I can see the trigger. So this is something we work a lot with a lot of military advisors, special forces advisors. We work with armor for a SWAT team, and then we also have a lot of expertise within the team because we've been doing military games for so long. So we talk with them about what sorts of modifications they make to the weapon in the field, and that's how we kind of did the brainstorm process to come up with some of these parts. So another really cool thing is that we've got all the interior parts here for the hardcore guys. They can go and they can choose the weapon to work exactly the way they want it to work. But a lot of people might want to go in and they just say, well, I know how I want to play and I just want to quickly get the gun to match my play style, right? So that's where we did some of the voice recognition. You have to bear with me, we're running like a lot of really loud demos, so it works very well, even with background conversation, that sort of thing, but if they blast Rocksmith there in a second, we'll see how it works. So if I'm a sniper, I can say something like, optimize for range. It goes through, puts a magnified optic, a longer barrel, all the different sorts of things I tweak on my own, and does it for me really, really quickly. And you can see even in a loud environment with this, it works really, really well. Optimized for close combat. Pull with the stock, put a shorter barrel, a different type of optic that's better for close range, straight forward grip. Optimized for accuracy. Same kind of thing. So, one thing that's really, really important, right, is because we're allowing players to customize so many cool things on the gun, they also need to be able to test it out. So if you just change a few things and you go in, we don't want players to be stuck halfway through a multiplayer match, halfway through a mission, and either have to quit out or restart because they didn't like the way they customized their gun. So we want to give them a way to do it without any load times, and that's what we're calling the firing range part of Gunsmith. So with Kinect, I can just gesture like I'm reaching over my shoulder to grab a gun off of my back, and I get into a firing stance, and then I've got my gun in an environment where I can test it out. I use my left hand to aim the weapon around, and I use my right hand to fire. If I want to zoom in and targets that are farther away, I bring my right hand up over my head, or closer to my eye. What's cool about this too is that you can see that I actually have to steady my shot, as opposed to that being kind of mimicked on the controller or a specific gameplay mechanic. I actually have to steady my aim. So I'm running low on ammo. I can reach back, grab a magazine, reload. If I want to get a different view of the targets, we're doing the head track angle a little bit in this too, so I can lean and straight in either direction. So that worked pretty well. I might want to change out something on the weapon. So I just drop my hands to my side, jumps back, I'm back, and I can customize my weapon. optimized for range, and adjust over to the scope. I can put the weapon together, look at it here, take it apart again. And then we've got a ton of different guns in the game. We've got 62 weapons, but when you add all the different categories of customization, you add in all the actual customizations of parts and attachments within those categories, it comes to something like over 20 million different weapon combinations that you can create. Even with just this assault rifle, I can customize this in over a million different ways. Back out for the demo, we didn't bring all of those weapons with us to E3, we're just showing a couple. You can see how a couple of these break apart. It's all completely authentic. You'll see the upper and lower receiver came apart on the assault rifle. It works a little bit differently on a light machine gun as it does in real life. Let me go over to the submachine gun. If I break that apart, you'll see more of the components come out of the back of the weapon. We've got a great authenticity advisor, Travis Getz, who his entire job is to foster relationships with military advisors, weapons manufacturers, parts and attachments manufacturers. We get a lot of hands-on time with this stuff to make sure it looks correct, it functions correct. We've also got a lot of guys just in the studios who've been making military games for so long that have their own weapons. When we were doing the brainstorming on this feature, we just had a guy bring in, he brought in an AR-15, brought in an AK-47, brought in a shotgun, a pistol. We just threw it on the ping pong table actually in our common area. Took them apart, messed around with them, and kind of talked about, based on what the discussions we had with our special forces advisors, what would work best in the game.
We're going to take one more trip to the firing range, show them how it fires one more time.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Who's got questions for Chris Gray from Red Storm? Anybody? Anybody curious? You got a question over here? Let's get you on the mic so we can hear you, Daniel.